Sean, you there, bud?
Got your hoodie on, right, John?
Yes, I do. I got to go to the hockey rink later, Jerry. You should know about that.
I do. My grandson, most of their games have been canceled. They live in New York.
We just started again, so I was at the rink last night till 10 o'clock. That's why I was on a call last night, and then they start tonight, and it just keeps going.
Good.
Yeah, no, it's exciting. I have a board of finance meeting tonight for the town, so that ought to be good. So I'll be doing that one from the rink, though. I think we're ready to go. Sean, you ready?
I'm just doing a quick count here.
Yeah, I
think we still need a few more people, but let me just count up real quick. All right, you're good.
Good. All right. It is 4 o'clock, January 20th, 2021. The Tweed New Haven Board of Directors meeting is now in session. The first thing on the agenda is the minutes from December 16th. I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Hey, Peter. Nice to see you, bud. We got a motion. I need a second.
Second.
Thanks, Rich. Any discussions, amendments, corrections? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye or raise your hand or.
Aye.
Aye.
Dan, how are you? Opposed? That motion carries. We have our executive director's report. Mr. Scanlon, are you ready?
I am ready. Good afternoon, everybody. Good to see you and Happy New Year. Short report today. We, as you all probably know by now, welcome back American about 2 weeks ago, actually from today. They're doing a 1 daily flight in the late afternoon to Philadelphia. The load factor on that flight has not been great, as you can imagine. A couple of different factors leading into that. Usually, January is a really difficult time in the industry, even without COVID, in terms of just not a lot of travel happening. But obviously, given the fact that we still are in the throes of the pandemic, there obviously is only 1 flight a day in the evening. Some of the connections on that flight are not great. And so we're seeing lower than normal load factors for sure on that flight. They are here through the 31st of March and potentially beyond that, which is an ongoing conversation with them. And I think a lot of that will be dictated by what happens in Washington, as has been the case with them for the last few months as well. So we'll see what happens with the new administration and whether there are further, rounds of stimulus that would impact the industry or not. But it is good to have them back, and it's good to look out the window and see that plane there every day, and feel good about the fact that we have American service back at the airport. We are continuing to move forward with the master plan. Some of you may have seen that we had a very well attended meeting about a week and a half ago. There was over 100 people logged on at the height of that meeting, and Jeff Wood, our master plan consultant, did a good job of walking through some really dense stuff. It was a lot of material, probably too much material to really grasp, but we had a lot of pent up stuff that we need to share with folks because we haven't been able to have other meetings in the last year because of COVID. So we were able to share a lot about where things are at and talk a little bit about where we want to go. If you missed that meeting, we can certainly talk about that. Happy to answer any questions about what was presented there. But the gist of it is that we are moving forward on the master plan and updating folks on where we were at for that. We will do another master plan meeting probably in mid-February, working with them to get another date on the books right now to sort of close out that process. And then, as you all are probably aware, we will finish that process in March of this year. And after an 18-month process that began back in September of 2019, before I even started, we will have done a very good update, I think, on our master plan. And it was obviously long overdue because the last one we did was in 2002. So a lot of good stuff there. A lot of good stuff that we have been working on with them, and look forward to having Jeff. We'll probably have Jeff come back in the February board meeting just to brief everybody one more time on what was in that and what was discussed, and we can go from there. With that, Mr. Chairman, I don't really have anything else today, and we'll kick it back to you, unless anyone has questions.
Anybody have any questions for Sean, for Executive Director? Okay. Thank you, Mr. Scanlon. Nice job. Chairman's report, I normally don't say much. I want to wish everyone a happy and healthy new year also. This is a tough year because of COVID. I'm a big believer in tweet. All of us are. That's why I run this committee. With that, I've appointed a ad hoc committee, a future development ad hoc committee. I'm going to tell you who's on the committee. I think it's important for Tweed to move forward. I really believe in it, and I think we can with the lawsuit that we won and the runway length. Eventually, I think Tweed will be thriving. But with that, we want to take every step possible to make sure that happens. So on this ad hoc committee, the future development ad hoc committee, is Vin Petrini, Rich Jacobs, Jerry Weiner, Matt Hoey, and myself. And I'll tell you why I chose them. Vin Petrini and Rich Jacobs, I think there's no secret there. Two of our largest employers, not only in New Haven County, but in the state. Matt Hoey, who has experience as a former executive director, albeit for a short period of time, but he has that experience. And let's talk with Jerry Weiner, who's the vice chair, myself as the chair, feel it's very important to do this. So that's why those were chosen. And I'm asking Sean to be our executive director, Mr. Scanlon, to attend every meeting possible. So I just wanted to bring the board up to speed, and we'll report back like any other ad hoc committee to the board. All right. Mr. Arnold, you ready for the audit and finance committee? I know Kevin was on the call. Kevin, you still there?
I don't see him.
He was. I know that. Here he is. Kevin, you ready for the audit and finance committee report? He's there. He's muted. That's the problem.
Sorry, Jimmy, you looking for me?
There you go. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody hear me okay?
I can hear you.
Okay, great, thank you. My apologies. Everyone's package, you can see that we ended November, again, we're talking about November, in the black at over $80,000. That's year to date, $331,000. Want to go into those numbers a little bit. November was the month that we had no American Airlines flights. So 0 air carrier landing fees associated with that. No fuel forward fees from American on that. No jet bridge usage.
Hey, Kevin, I'm not sure if it's just me, but I'm having a lot of trouble hearing you.
Me too, yeah.
Hey, you're in and out.
Okay, let me try. Sorry about that. I must be having trouble. As I said, just got disconnected. I don't know if that has something to do with it. Bear with me 1 second, folks.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is this any better?
Yep.
Is that better?
Much better.
Okay,
Yes.
great. Okay. Again, I'll start over briefly, very, very quickly. Month ending in the black, November of $80,000. Year to date, it's in the black of $331,000. So great start so far. November had no American Airlines flights. So with that, of course, no American air carrier landing fees, fuel flowage fees, or the jet bridge fees. So even with $0 coming in, we were able to still have a positive month. A couple of factors of that. One, well, again, also the parking lot on the revenue side, the parking lot was almost zero, very low on there. We, American, thanks to Sean and Jeremy, their conversations with American, they were still paying the rent on the terminal space, the office and counter space. So that was a big help as well. On the expense side, everyone has done a great job at keeping on top of the expenses. This is one thing that's really made a difference, including the CARES Act money that continues to come in. Now, coming up, we have the winter months, we have snow, we have, the expenses usually go up a little bit on the airport side, but overall, I think we're still in great shape for this fiscal year. That's all I have, sir.
Any questions for Kevin?
Mr. Chairman, just one question. The most
Okay.
recent round of funding from the federal government, is there anything in there for us?
Yes, there is, Matt. We don't have an exact amount yet. There is a guy who wrote to Jeremy and I during the January 1st act of the CARES Act, who likes to predict these kind of things. And he was actually surprisingly close about the actual amount that we ended up getting. He's just an airport consultant or enthusiast. And he's predicting we're only going to get about $100,000 this year. So I've been talking to Kevin Dillon a lot about that, and he nor I have gotten any update from the FAA on timing.
Can't hear that question, Sean. Does somebody else have a question?
Looks like Jeremy wanted to say something, John.
I was just going to say, we just received our last deposit from the CARES Act 1. So we've used all 1.16 million of the original that was due to us the first round. So like it's been said, we anticipate, we'll be able to make this budget in the black due to the CARES Act funding.
Any other questions? All right, thanks, Kevin. Thanks, Jeremy. Reports and action items. I'm gonna need a motion to go to executive session.
Make a motion, we go to executive session.
Thanks,
Second.
Anthony.
Second, Matt Hoy.
Thanks, Matt. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? We are going into executive session at 4:12. Sean, could you just let the invited guests know?
Yes. So everybody, if you are a board member, you should have an email in your inbox from me from this afternoon marked urgent that has a link to GoToMeetings, which is the usual website that we use for our board meetings. So I would ask you to log out of this Zoom meeting and log on to GoToMeetings. I will admit you, and then we will discuss some things, and then we'll come back into the Zoom meeting. So if you're a guest or a team member here,
Yeah, we're gonna.
feel free to stay on this Zoom if you want to, but we will be going to the GoToMeeting. And if anybody has any problems, please just call me and I can try to help walk you through it.
Hey, Sean, I don't know. I don't see the email in my box. Can you possibly resend? Sorry, I may have deleted it by mistake.
No, that's okay. Which of your emails, Karen, is the best one to send it to?
Do you have the WellSpark one?
No,
Or
I
the-
sent it to your Yahoo.
Oh, okay, can you send it? Do you have a Connecticut one?
I can look it up, but if you
You know what? Nope, you know what? I'll just go to my Yahoo and forward it. I'm good.
Okay.
All right.
And
Thank you.
Everybody, it's from 2:13 p.m. So if you haven't seen it, just go look for 2:13 p.m. and that's when I sent it to you. So we'll transition over there.
We will come back. Yeah, we will go back on this meeting, and obviously in executive session, we cannot take any action, but we'll come back to this meeting. I know Mark's in the audience somewhere, Zareski.
John, just a quick question. Can we get off this meeting and then get back into this meeting, or are we precluded from doing so if we leave this one?
No, I'd prefer that you actually leave this meeting specifically just in case you leave your microphone on or something like that. So if you can actually log out, leave the meeting and log on, that would be great. And Karen, if you're still listening, I just forwarded to your Connecticut email address. So
Thank you.
you should have it there.
Thanks.
So I have you sent it to my AT&T one. If you
I just did, John. Yep.
All right.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for your patience. We'll see you over there.
How you doing, Elliot?
I'm good. How are you?
You made it down there, huh?
Oh, yeah. Uneventful.
Was it like 80, 84 and sunny?
Not quite that warm. It's been cool the last week or since we've been here. It's going to be 80s though by the end of the week and the weekend. So we're looking forward to a little more beach time. Sorry about that.
Nice.
How'd you make out on the Lennox trees? You got anything going?
Still working. Think we're gonna go with Ed the Tree Man.
Yeah.
Does anyone have volume?
I do.
I do. I do.
Yep.
Everybody hear each other?
Yep.
John,
Yes.
we know
Yeah.
when everybody's back in. Everybody back in? Are we good? Okay. It is 4:40. The Tweed New Haven Board of Directors meeting is now back in session. I need a motion. I'm going to, resolution 511, approval of the agreement for potential air service development. The authority is charged with the management and operations of Tweed. The authority sought consultant service to evaluate potential air service developments. We have a proposal received from a qualifying firm, and the authority recommends that the firm of BJSA Consultants provide potential air service development opportunities.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second,
That's your
Mr.
motion.
Chairman.
Yeah, hold on one second. I'm sorry, I had a call, but we're good. Everybody hear me? Peter, you're muted, but can everybody hear me?
Yes.
All right,
Yes.
good. I'm going to make the resolution again. First of all, real briefly, the reason that we went into executive session, there was possible changes in air service. So we had executive session. There was disclosure of confidential information, analysis of revenue projections, and confidential information. So that's why we went to executive session. So we have resolution 511, the approval of agreement for potential air service developments. The authority charged with the management operation at Tweed New Haven Airport. The authority consultant service to evaluate the air development. One proposal was received from a qualified firm. The authority recommends that the firm of BJSA Consultants provide analysis for potential air service development. The proposed fee of the evaluation of air service development opportunity analysis is $28,000 funded through operating funds. Therefore, it be resolved, Tweed New Haven Airport Authority approves an agreement for potential air service development opportunities with BJSA Consultants. The chair, vice chair, treasury, secretary is authorized to execute the agreement on behalf of the authority. I need a motion to approve, please.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, Peter. We have a motion seconded by Peter, I believe. Discussion. Thank you. Discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor, raise your hand or signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Abstentions? That motion carries. We also have resolution 512. I read the last one because I want to get to the fee and stuff, but approval of Jones paying a contract extension due to project delays associated with the pandemic. I'm looking for a motion to approve. Resolution 512.
So moved.
So
Peter.
moved.
Thanks,
Seconded.
Peter. Thanks, Peter. Discussion. There being none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Raise your hand. Aye. Opposed?
Nay.
I have a nay.
East Haven.
Any other opposed? Abstentions? Seeing none, that motion carries. Jeremy, are you on?
I am, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Nielsen. You have the airport manager's report. Go ahead.
I do. I'll just make a few highlights. First is we just completed our capital request to the city of New Haven that was submitted last week for fiscal years 22 and 23. That covers local share of capital improvement projects through the FAA, as well as our capital, rolling stock and airfield painting, those types of projects. So that's been submitted. We submitted the audit report to the state that completes our obligation for annual reporting to the state. So that has been completed. Another highlight, we have our tenant meeting tomorrow, January 21st, 11 a.m. We encourage everyone to attend that. And we are also, another highlight, we continue to post our monthly discharge monitoring reports, the DMRs, to the website. So that basically shows our monthly release of aircraft de-icing fluid. So that's that process is now online and fully transparent, so anyone can go on there and look at those. And then finally, I just want to point out that I have overlooked an error here. I had mentioned that we're waiting for our first snow event, when actually, in all actuality, we did have our first snow event. That was on December 16th and 17th. We were preparing for that right prior to our last board meeting. We had about 12 inches, and it was no incidents, no impact to aircraft operations, so that operation went smoothly. But we appreciate your continued support throughout the day-to-day. And if you guys have any questions about anything on my report or anything that's not on my report, or you'd like to see something on the report, please let me know. I think one other item I will point out was brought to my attention by someone, was that if you look at the stats under landing fees for landing fees for American under FY20, the question was, well, if we didn't have with the pandemic, how did we fare so well with landing fees? And the answer is, with the bigger aircraft, we actually were performing quite well up until American started to slow down. So those numbers in FY20 are correct. Just wanted to point that out. Anything else? Anything from Any questions, comments, concerns, or anything they'd like to see on the report? I'm happy to take those.
Any questions for Jeremy?
All right, thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Jeremy. Any other business? Anybody from the public who'd like to speak? Once, twice, 3 times. Public information session is closed. Peter Leonardo, you out there?
Yes, I am. Move to adjourn.
Second, Peter Wilson.
Peter, thank you. All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you, everyone. Meeting's adjourned at 4:49. Have a great night.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.